All right, everyone, get ready, because today we're taking a deep dive into something that affects us all. Modern relationships and how technology is totally changing the game. Our source material this time is a super interesting article called The Role of Technology in Modern Relationships, from dating apps to virtual intimacy.
Wow, that covers a lot.
It really does, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah.
How we connect, date, and build relationships in this crazy digital age.
Right.
We're talking everything from swiping left and right on those dating apps
Don't get me started.
to, that feeling that you have to perform your love life on social media.
That's exhausting.
It can be.
And wait, are we really going to talk about AI companions and virtual intimacy?
Oh, we're going there.
Buckle up, folks. It's going to get wild.
So I don't know about you, but I remember a time when meeting someone meant bumping into them at a bookstore or getting set up by a friend.
Yeah, the good old days.
Exactly. But now it's all about algorithms and carefully curated profiles.
It's true. Dating apps have basically become the new matchmaker.
Think about Tinder, Bumble, Hinge.
Oh, I know them all too well.
They've completely changed the game. I mean, on one hand, it's pretty amazing how efficient they are.
Right. You can filter potential partners based on shared interests.
Yeah. Values.
Uh-huh.
Even, whether they're a cat person or a dog person.
Exactly. You can really narrow it down.
And here's the big question.
Okay, I'm listening.
Is all this efficiency really a good thing?
I see what you're getting at.
If we're so used to filtering out anyone who doesn't perfectly match what we're looking for,
Yeah.
are we less likely to, work through challenges with a partner?
That's a great point. And it's something that the article actually brings up.
Oh, really?
It talks about this thing called the paradox of choice.
The paradox of choice.
Yeah, basically having all these options at our fingertips.
Right. Endless options.
It can actually lead to indecision.
Oh, totally get that.
And even dissatisfaction.
Because you're always thinking, what if there's someone better out there?
Exactly. We might be overlooking some amazing connections just because we're so focused on finding that perfect match.
It's like we've traded in the romance of chance encounters for the calculated efficiency of algorithms.
That's a really good way to put it.
And let's be honest, those profiles we're swiping through are often based on a couple of photos and a carefully crafted bio.
It's all about presentation.
So it's easy to fall into the trap of making superficial judgments, right?
Absolutely. We're judging a book by its cover, essentially.
Totally. But, it's not just about finding a partner.
Yeah.
It's also about how we present our relationships once we're in one.
Oh, yeah. Enter social media.
The ultimate stage for performing our love lives, right?
It's true. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, they've become these highlight reels of relationship bliss.
It's all picture-perfect couples, exotic vacations.
Romantic gestures.
Right. And it creates this pressure to project an equally idealized image of our own relationship.
Oh, absolutely. It's the look how happy we are phenomenon.
Exactly. But here's the thing. You never really know what's happening behind the scenes.
Oh, that's so true.
They could have just had a huge fight before posting that cute selfie.
You never know.
And that pressure to present this perfect facade, it can be really damaging.
Oh, it totally can. It can lead to feelings of inadequacy, insecurity, both for individuals and for the relationship.
And don't even get me started on the jealousy factor.
Oh, social media can be a breeding ground for relationship anxiety.
Right. Every like or comment from someone else can trigger a spiral of suspicion and doubt.
And with social media, we have this constant visibility into our partner's online interactions.
It's like we've invited an audience into our relationship.
It can make things feel less intimate, more like a public performance.
Which is a great segue into this trend I've been noticing.
What is that?
Soft launching relationships on social media.
Oh, yeah. Like dropping little hints and clues about your new love interest.
Exactly. But without actually confirming anything.
It's like dipping your toe in the water before jumping in.
You can kind of gauge the reaction of your followers before making a big announcement.
It's the online dating version of leaving your toothbrush at someone's place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we can't forget that social media can also be a really powerful tool for connection.
That's true.
Especially for couples who are, geographically separated.
Long distance relationships.
Yeah, platforms like video calls and instant messaging can be lifelines.
They help maintain that sense of closeness despite the distance.
It's pretty amazing how technology can bridge that gap.
It's incredible. It's like we're rewriting the rules of how we connect.
Speaking of rewriting the rules, this article talks about something that kind of blew my mind.
I'm intrigued.
AI companions.
Oh, wow.
Are we really at a point where people are forming romantic attachments to artificial intelligence?
It sounds like sci-fi, but it's becoming more and more common.
There are these AI chatbots, like Replica.
Replica, okay.
They're designed to provide companionship and like really personalized responses.
They're not just like generic bots.
No, they learn and adapt to you.
Wow. And people are actually developing strong emotional bonds with them.
It's happening. We're going to explore that more in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, now I'm really curious.
We'll get into the motivations behind it,
Yeah.
the potential benefits, the drawbacks,
Right.
and what it all means for the future of human connection.
This is getting really deep. I can't wait to unpack it all. Stay tuned, everyone, because in part 2, we're going even further down this rabbit hole of technology and relationships.
It's going to be a wild ride. Welcome back, everyone, to our deep dive into technology and modern relationships.
Okay, so we've talked about dating apps, we've talked about social media,
Right.
and now it's time to tackle something that still feels a bit, I don't know, sci-fi to me.
AI companions.
Exactly. AI companions.
Yeah, it's definitely a mind-bending concept.
It is. So help me out here. Why are people turning to AI for companionship in the first place?
Well, I think a big part of it is loneliness.
Loneliness.
You know, in today's world, even though we're constantly connected online,
Right, we're always on our phones.
a lot of people still feel isolated, disconnected.
I can see that.
And AI companions offer this, like constant availability.
Okay.
They listen without judgment, which could be hard to find in human interactions.
It's like having a friend who's always there for you no matter what.
Exactly. But, of course, there's a flip side to that.
What do you mean?
Some experts worry that relying too much on AI companions could actually make us more socially isolated
Oh, interesting.
and even like affect our ability to form real life relationships.
Because we're not getting that practice with real people.
Right. Human relationships are messy, they're complex.
We have to deal with different personalities, opinions, you know.
Exactly. But AI companions are programmed to be agreeable, supportive,
Always there to make you feel good.
which can create this unrealistic expectation of how relationships should be.
Like, it's not always going to be sunshine and roses.
Exactly. But, you know, AI companionship isn't always about romance.
Oh, that's true.
For some people, it's more about having a confidant,
Someone to talk to.
someone to bounce ideas off of,
Right.
or even just for entertainment, a distraction.
So it's not necessarily about replacing human connection,
Right.
but maybe finding a different kind of connection that fills a specific need.
Exactly. And it's important to remember that AI is constantly evolving.
Oh, for
We're already seeing it used in therapy to help people with anxiety, depression,
Wow, really?
even PTSD.
That's incredible. It makes you wonder what the future holds.
Right. Like, could AI change how we approach mental health care?
It's a fascinating possibility. But let's shift gears for a second and talk about another tech frontier,
What's that?
virtual reality.
Oh, yeah. VR is getting really interesting, especially when it comes to relationships.
We touched on how it can enhance intimacy for long-distance couples.
Right. But it goes beyond that.
How so?
Imagine, like, a virtual date night.
Okay.
Even if you're miles apart, you could explore a museum together, go dancing.
That's so cool.
You could even cuddle up on a virtual beach and watch the sunset.
That sounds incredibly romantic.
And for couples who struggle with physical intimacy for whatever reason,
Yeah, like distance or disability.
exactly, VR could provide a way to connect on a deeper level.
It could be really powerful.
And it's not just about replicating real life.
Oh.
Some VR developers are creating these whole new worlds where couples can,
Explore their fantasy.
exactly. It's definitely pushing boundaries.
Sounds a little Black Mirror to me.
It can be, but it's a reality that's gaining traction,
So we're talking about virtual reality sex.
essentially.
Wow, that raises a lot of questions about intimacy, consent,
Yeah.
the lines between real and virtual.
It definitely blurs those lines.
This is where I start to get a little lost. I mean, using VR to enhance an existing relationship, I get that. But what about forming entirely new relationships in the virtual world?
It's happening. There are VR platforms specifically for socializing, dating.
Really?
You create an avatar, meet other users.
Wow. So you could fall in love with an avatar?
It's a question that's being debated right now.
That's heavy stuff. I need a minute to process all of this. Listeners, stick with us because in part 3, we're going to try to make sense of it all.
We'll explore the benefits and risks of these technologies and see how they're changing the way we love and connect.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
Dating apps, social media, AI companions, virtual reality. Whew.
It's a lot. Technology's really shaken things up when it comes to relationships.
No kidding. So, as we wrap things up, I'm wondering, how do we navigate all of this?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is. Like, how do we make sure that technology is actually helping our relationships and not, hurting them?
Right. It's being mindful, being aware of how technology is impacting us, both as individuals and as couples.
So, like, taking a step back and really looking at how we're using technology.
Exactly. Are we spending more time scrolling through Instagram than talking to our partner?
Or, like, comparing our relationship to those picture-perfect couples we see online.
It's so easy to fall into that trap. And are we maybe using technology to avoid difficult conversations or real intimacy?
Oh, that's a good point.
That's something to think about.
Definitely. So, awareness is key. But what else can we do?
Boundaries. Setting boundaries is crucial.
Boundaries, okay.
In a world where we're always connected, we need to create space for tech-free time.
Like putting our phones away and actually being present with our loved ones.
Exactly. Having device-free dinners, designating tech-free zones in the house.
Those digital detox moments can be so refreshing.
They are. And don't forget about communication.
Talking to our partners about all of this.
Yes. Talk about how technology is impacting your relationship, share your concerns, your hopes.
It's about being proactive.
Absolutely. And remember, technology should be enhancing our relationships, not replacing real-life experiences.
Right. Don't let dating apps stop you from meeting people organically.
And don't let social media pressure you into presenting a fake version of yourself or your relationship.
It's all about balance, isn't it?
It really is.
Embracing the good parts of technology while also protecting those core values of communication, trust, intimacy.
Those are the foundations of any healthy relationship. At the end of the day, it comes down to this. What role do you want technology to play in your relationships?
That's a powerful question, and one we should all be asking ourselves.
Absolutely. We hope this deep dive has given you some food for thought as you navigate this crazy digital world of love and connection.
We've covered a lot, but there's always more to explore. Until next time, keep diving deep.